Hello, I never know how to start these things, but today I wanted to go over the difference between arrays and objects. And before talking about the difference, I wanted to talk about why they're even compared in the first place. So both of them are essentially buckets that hold information in one way or another. So both arrays and objects are data structures in that they hold information. Now the difference. So arrays are ordered in the sense that you know which position within your structure, within your bucket, your file folder, whatever you want to compare it to, you know the position of each element within it. Whereas objects, you can also kind of figure it out, but it's more based on labels. And objects hold key value pairs, so it allows you to store certain types of information. And I'm going to dive in, otherwise I'm just going to confuse you. Starting with arrays, we know that arrays are data structures that are ordered. And here's an example of one on line 3. I have defined an array by using a variable named myR for my array. And within it, I have 4 numbers. It's not like 1,234, but the numbers individually, and they're stored within square brackets. And then you're going to separate each element using a comma. And it doesn't have to be numbers. It can be strings. So I can say like an array called my best friends, and I can have a string of names. Going back to the statement that arrays are ordered, each element within this array has a specific location, a specific index. All arrays start at 0. That's really important to note. Kind of like, I don't know where you live, but in the States, most apartment complexes, buildings start at, like, you walk in street level and you're at level 1. And then the second floor is level 2. That's not how arrays work. Arrays work like other countries where you walk in the street level and you're starting at 0, and then you go up 1 flight of stairs and then you're in the first floor. So that's kind of how arrays work. The number 1 is currently in the 0 position. The number 2 is actually in the first position. We know now that an index is the position of an element within the array. So I like to think of arrays as an ordered list starting at the number 0, the 1. So now for objects. So we know that objects are also a way to hold information, but they're organized more so with labels. So in this object right here, I declared by using curly brackets. And within these curly brackets, I have 4 elements. Each element has a key and a value. So now that I've defined kind of what an object will look like, you should at least now be able to differentiate between, square brackets, that's going to be an array, and curly brackets, that's usually going to be an object. If I want to get the value of American food, which would be hamburgers, then I would print out my object right here and then use dot notation and then say American. And when I print that out, I should see hamburgers. Really, that's it. I have nothing else to say. I hope you're liking these Getting Started series. They are meant to help you get through some of the simplest things that are often overlooked when you're first starting to code. Whether you're going through free resources like Free Code Camp, which is amazing, Code Academy, whether you're enrolled in a boot camp, whether you're just self-teaching, or whether it's just a hobby. I hope these simple kind of intro things are useful and save you a lot of time.